With the very first roller coaster at sea, 2020 is going to be one of the biggest years for the cruise industry. So here's a quick list of every ship coming out this year in 2020 and a little bit of facts about each one of them.
The end of it all, I'll still be there for you.
Before we get too far into things, if you love cruising, if you love cruise news, updates on the cruise industry, and even cruise vlogs, make sure you click that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Anyways, into the list of ships coming out this year in 2020. So something pretty big coming out in the cruise industry in 2020 is we're going to see an all new cruise line. We're going to see Virgin Voyages finally debut their very first ship. They built a brand new ship from scratch as their very first ship, which is pretty uncommon in the cruise industry. In April of 2020, we are going to see Scarlet Lady, which is the first of Virgin Voyages' brand new ships and the brand new cruise line, like I just mentioned. She is going to be a little on the smaller side at 110,000 tons, but will carry about 2,860 guests with 1,100 crew members. They plan on making a pretty big splash in the cruise industry with something that is not quite all-inclusive, but pretty close to it. Pretty much the only thing that's not included is the alcoholic beverages. Things like Wi-Fi, specialty dining, sodas, even your gratuities are all going to be included in your cruise fare. Pretty much the only thing you're going to have to pay for if you do cruise with Virgin Voyages is that you're going to have to pay for alcoholic beverages if you choose to have some. Everything else basically is going to be included, which is pretty incredible. No cruise line that I can think of does something like that, and it's a very unique concept, and I think if they don't kind of stumble out of the gate at all, I think this concept is going to go really, really well if everything goes perfectly according to plan. Scarlet Lady has a very unique design. She has the vertical bow up front. The closest thing I can resemble the stern of the ship would be to Msc Seaside, but on a much smaller scale. She's a very, very unique ship, is a very unique concept, and overall Virgin Voyages is going to be a very unique company and a cruise line. So I'm very looking forward to Scarlet Lady. I don't have any plans to go on her, but I would definitely like to give Virgin Voyages a shot at some point. Moving on to the second of the 4 Celebrity Edge class ships, Celebrity Apex. Celebrity Apex will be debuting next summer in Southampton and then making her way down to Fort Lauderdale for the fall and winter seasons of 2020. She's going to be identical to her sister Edge, pretty much. 2,900 guests, about 130,000 gross tons. And she will also feature the Magic Carpet, which is the main, I wouldn't necessarily call it an attraction, but it is the main, it's the eye catcher of the ship, basically. It's a giant orange lounge bar. It's a lounge, it's a bar, it's a restaurant. It has several different purposes. Magic Carpet lowers itself from deck 12 all the way down to deck 2, and it can kind of fluctuate wherever they want it, whenever they want it. So that's a really, really cool concept. It was a big hit on the Edge and will be on the Apex and the next 2 after her. Also, a cool little unique thing about Magic Carpet is it does serve a purpose for tendering operations as well. So instead of the tender coming straight up to the edge of the ship and you stepping from the ship onto the tender, you get onto the Magic Carpet, and then from there you would get onto your tender, which is a really cool concept. And I think it probably does help a lot with the tendering operations. Next up on our list, we do have the largest ship to debut for P&O Cruises, which will be P&O Iona. Iona will be about 180,000 tons, carry about 5,200 guests, and powered by liquefied natural gas. She will be the largest ship in the P&O Cruises fleet. Iona will be the sister to Aida Nova and Costa Smeralda, which just came out a few weeks ago, as well as Carnival Mardi Gras, which we will get to later in this video. Iona will feature 17 different restaurants, 12 bars, and 13 entertainment venues, as well as 4 pools and 10 hot tubs, which is crazy. Next on our list is going to be Carnival Radiance. Now, Carnival Radiance won't be quite a new ship, but she will be newly named and newly themed after a really, really huge renovation. So she will make the list because she technically is deemed a new ship, although she is not actually a new build. So Carnival Radiance is currently Carnival Victory, and in the spring she will enter a 2-month dry dock and emerge as Carnival Radiance. So in this dry dock, she will receive pretty much every bit of the upgrades that Carnival Sunrise received earlier in 2019. Really the only difference is that Radiance is going to have Shaq's Big Chicken, which is a first for Carnival Cruise Line, which will also be featured on Mardi Gras, which will be next on our list. Shaquille O'Neal is the CFO, or Chief Fun Officer, for Carnival Cruise Line, and this is like a restaurant venue, kind of like the Guy Fieri with the Pig and Anchor and the Guy's Burger Joint. And this is just pretty much his version of it. Carnival Radiance will spend the summer over in Europe, and then in the fall will make her way over to her home port of Port Canaveral for the winter season, and from then on, and then in 2021 she'll move over to Galveston. But her main home port will be in Port Canaveral, Florida until then. Really looking forward to Carnival Radiance. I've been really interested in sailing on her sister Carnival Sunrise, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. I would definitely like to try her out as well, so that's really good. Next up on our list is Carnival Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is one of the most highly anticipated ships in the last several years. I can't remember when I've seen this much hype around a brand new ship ever since the Oasis debuted back in 2009. Carnival Mardi Gras will be the largest ship in Carnival Cruise Line's fleet, identical to P&O Iona that I just talked about earlier. 180,000 ton ship and 5,200 guests. Now you may be thinking, Carnival Mardi Gras sounds familiar. And that's true, it is, because Carnival Mardi Gras was the very first ship in Carnival Cruise Line's fleet, debuting in 1972. Mardi Gras was the very first ship in the Carnival Cruise Line fleet, and as a tribute, the brand new 180,000 ton Carnival ship will be named after her as the Mardi Gras. So very cool fact about that. Very, very highly anticipated ship. Because of everything this ship has to offer, Carnival will have no shortage of anything on this ship. I could definitely tell. Now actually just recently Carnival Mardi Gras was announced to be delayed in the shipyard, which I can't imagine after Smeralda being 2 months late that Carnival's very happy with them. Carnival Mardi Gras will be debuting two to 3 months late actually. Carnival just recently canceled the first 8 sailings of Carnival Mardi Gras because of the delay at the shipyard, which now I am officially on the second ever sailing of that ship, which I am very excited for, to have some of the first footage of it now. More into the ship. Now Mardi Gras is going to be divided up into several zones of fun is what they're calling it, similar to the neighborhood concept on the Oasis class. We're going to have things like the Ultimate Playground, Summer's Landing, and now the big talk about the Carnival Mardi Gras is going to be because of the first roller coaster ever at sea. Yeah, they're putting a roller coaster on a ship now. It's crazy to believe. I always thought as a kid that would be really, really cool, but it would never happen, and now it's happening. So, very, very cool idea. Very exciting concept to see come to life. Originally, she was going to have a 9-day from Denmark over to Southampton, do a transatlantic, and then eventually make her way down over to Port Canaveral. But now, she's going to come straight across without any passengers and make her debut on November 14th of 2020 in Port Canaveral, Florida. And then I'll be sailing on her on the 21st of 2020. So excited for that. Next on our list we have Enchanting Princess, which will be the 5th of the 5 Royal class ships from Princess Cruises. She's going to be about 145,000 tons. She'll carry about 3,500 guests. She'll feature the movies Under the Stars that is very popular on Princess Cruises, and a cool little thing about the Royal class ships are that 80% of the staterooms on this class of ships are going to be balconies, which is a really cool idea. Balconies are very, very popular cabins, so very, very cool that they're doing something like that, to the point where there's so many balconies available on this ship, so it's very, very cool. And she's going to make her debut in Mediterranean for this summer of 2020. Next on our list we have Msc Virtuosa. She's going to be the second of the Meraviglia Plus ships. Grandiosa just recently launched a few weeks ago, and at 177,000 tons, carrying about 4,900 guests. She's going to be, again, the largest in MSC's fleet. She's going to have the LED sky, which is the atrium ceiling that has all sorts like LEDs. So the LED sky is basically on the promenade deck as like the main walkway through the middle of the ship. You're going to have LEDs above you on the ceiling that'll be projecting different like things. It'll be projecting different images and different like backgrounds and types of things like that. Similar to the Dreamscape on board the Carnival Vista class ships, which is a really, really cool feature. So, except the only difference is this will be spanning the entire promenade and the whole ceiling instead of just this little thing in the center of the atrium. So that's really, really cool. Virtuosa is also going to feature a fine arts museum as well as a Cirque du Soleil, which is a really, really cool feature. Other things you can find on Virtuosa are going to be an outdoor water park as well as many, many bars and lounges. And she's going to be ready for her summer debut in the Mediterranean in 2020. And the final ship on our list is Odyssey of the Seas, the 5th and final Quantum class ship from Royal Caribbean, or the 2nd of the Quantum Ultra ships. So she's going to be identical to her sister Spectrum of the Seas that debuted in 2019. She's going to feature all of the main attractions you're going to find on all the Quantum class ships, such as North Star, 270 Lounge. You're going to have the Ripcord by iFly, the Seaplex with all the bumper cars, as well as many other features. Although something that is going to be really different about Odyssey of the Seas compared to her sisters is she's going to have the amplified pool deck that is found on all of the recently amplified Royal Caribbean ships, such as Navigator and now Oasis, where you can have the lime and coconut bar on the pool deck, and it's going to be very tropical themed, very, very cool. It's even going to have like a green color to the North Star, which is different than any of the other ships. So that is pretty much the only difference between Odyssey of the Seas and any of the others. The most exciting thing to me, at least, is that Odyssey will be making her debut in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Florida finally got a Quantum class ship. I have been waiting since the Quantum launched in 2014 for a Quantum class to show up in Florida. I have been waiting forever for this. I think a lot of other people have been waiting for them to put a Quantum class in Florida as well. So that is the most exciting thing. In November of this year, we are going to see Odyssey of the Seas arrive in Fort Lauderdale, and then she will spend her summers over in Europe doing Mediterranean cruises. After going through this list, I can definitely tell we have a lot to look forward to this year in 2020. First roller coaster at sea, and a Quantum class finally coming to Florida being two of the main highlights in my opinion. So let me know what ship you're excited for most down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. If you don't already, make sure you click that subscribe button, ding the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload, and I will see you guys for the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.